Hi everyone, so last night patch 1.3.1 went live and there have been some pretty interesting developments, so I'm gonna just summarize that real quick. Number one, the patch 1.3.1, there's nothing really major in there, just TLDR, seneschal damage was buffed, they nerfed suppressors, you can now deactivate the suppressor bubble. This is really useful for some builds, so when you stun elites that have that effect, you can get rid of it. Starter Skies now works with channeling skills, especially Lightning Storm, I guess. Lightning dungeon layouts have been adjusted. We don't really know exactly what that means. I've been running some. I didn't really notice much, to be fair. And there was like a whole lot of bug fixes. So I have the link in the description if you want to read through them. Just want to get it out here. But what is actually kind of interesting here is this post by Adam Fletcher that came as a follow-up. Not exactly directly related to the patch, but he wrote here that the design team has some plans for players who have numerous Uber uniques that they may not use, and you should hold on to those. So it sounds like there might be some kind of, Uber unique salvage thing coming, or some, trade them in 3-to-1, or, maybe some system like that if you have multiple copies of certain Uber uniques after farming Duriel. So that is a really good news. I've been quite vocal about the Duriel grind, especially after last season, and just some feedback I was giving. And I feel like Duriel grind definitely needs an update. I was actually hoping for maybe more bosses, and they would spread out the Uber uniques on more bosses perhaps, or something like that. Or maybe add more sources of them, like T100 dungeons, for example. But here we are. At least we're getting something quite soon, maybe. They didn't really specify anything, but there is something coming. So that's a light at the end of the tunnel for the Duriel grind. So if you're also one of those people who are doing a lot of Duriels and then you get, the same 2 or 3 copies of the same item that you don't really want, well, maybe we're gonna get something for it now. And speaking of Duriels, also something interesting that happened was this here. So apparently Blizzard has deleted the duped materials, or at least a good part of them, last night. So I had many people coming to my stream chat talking about the mats went missing in their stash and what happened. Blizzard deleted them. Well, turns out apparently they were able to track who duped, or at least what materials were duped, and they got deleted. Now this apparently also hit people that just traded for materials, so when they bought them from someone for like items or gold or something before they disabled trading. So apparently those are also gone. I'm not sure about bans. I've not heard anything about bans, but at very least they have cleaned up a little bit. So that is kind of interesting. So you might want to check your stash and see what's still left. And finally, there's another important note here from Adam Fletcher yet again. The Vault of the Loom, the Uber Malphas encounter has been currently disabled. So in case you're wondering, you're trying to do a session, there is a bug after the patch that they have to fix, and it just crashes the instance all the time. So they kind of just turned off the entire instance until this is figured out. So those are like the news from last night. It was kind of interesting. But yeah, in terms of Uber uniques, I think this is really good. Whatever they're doing, anything is going to be really good, because I think people are kind of fed up with the Duriel grind. And especially now, I think also a lot of people are going to be upset, at least, that the duping is fixed and easy access to mats is gone, basically. There's certainly people that still have a lot of these mats, I imagine, because I'm not sure if they've deleted everything. But either way, it's not going to be that easy to get them. But if you get a bit of a compensation, basically, for finding these copies of Uber uniques, it may be just an acceptable grind after all. So let's see what will happen exactly. I'm gonna share with any news any updates that come out of this with you. So stay tuned. Otherwise, good luck with the grind, and I'll see you guys next time.